to it. This camera that I'm using right now, I ain't telling you guys what it is, not yet. When this camera came out, speaking of the old school guys, this one shook the industry up. Like, it really shook up the action camera industry. So you guys know it's an action camera. When this camera came out, this thing was known, it's almost like a trivia. Guess what camera it is? Of all the old cameras that I do have, matter of fact, I won't turn here. This one actually impressed me the most for the simple fact that I started grabbing components from the newer models of this camera, and they all worked. All of them. They all either attached to this camera or they are compatible with this camera. So I almost, no, it would be the realest thing to say. This would be accurate. When it comes to older cameras, and I'm talking about cameras that were built before 2022, that is. Make sure I'm saying this right. Yes. When it comes to cameras that were built or that came out before 2022 or on around 2022, I'm going to say this is probably the best action camera to get if you're on a budget. That's all relatively speaking. Obviously, everybody has different amounts of monies that they can spend on creator equipment. And I am probably going to use this exact camera for a trade-up for some other cameras. That's the crazy part. I haven't touched this camera in 2 years. Nah, that's a lie. I haven't touched it. Well, it's been almost 2 years, actually. I haven't touched this camera. I'm very impressed with the compatibility of this camera to the newer models of it. I'm gonna be sitting here all night thinking about how this is. And so with that being said, I am going to show you guys exactly. I'm gonna show you guys all of those components that I'm talking about. And so you'll end up seeing this camera eventually. Very impressive. Right now we have onboard recording. I have no external mics hooked up to this camera right now. The tattoos all over the face, homie, driving a Hyundai. Driving the little Hyundai car, homie. Guys, I started hooking up I'm not gonna say it. I started hooking up microphones to this camera. They all work. All of them so far. All of them things work. I was like, damn, when they put this camera out, we want this camera to be the best camera of all time options. It's like they didn't hold back anything on this camera. Everything works on this camera. There's microphones on the newer models of this camera that don't work with the newer models that work with this one. It's crazy. We are driving with all the windows cracked just to add a little bit of noise into the interior. Like I said, the audio is on stereo and the wind reduction is off. I don't like wind reduction unless I absolutely need it, for the simple fact that wind reduction it initiates the processor in these cameras, making them want to. Am I blown out? I look kind of blown out. I do look blown out. And despite all of what I just said, I still look blown out. Anyways, when this camera first came out, it was known for its extreme long battery life. You guys probably already figured out what camera that is already. Long battery life. Obviously the same sort of water resistance as any other action camera on the market. Magnetic mounting. That was another thing about this camera that just stood out. I think it was the first action camera to have a magnetic mount. Are we getting somewhere? Am I getting you already? You know what it is? This camera shook the industry. Trust me when I tell you, it was just a big game changer. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, damn, I got to get one of those. This is that camera, and this is still the only camera I had this camera, I told you guys I ain't used it in almost 2 years. I think I took the battery out of it once and charged it. It's been sitting in the car. I forgot this camera even had a battery in it, guys. And it has 62% battery in it still. The battery's from 2 generations newer than this camera. Works in this camera. We're talking batteries with a higher capacity. Guys, it's revolutionary, man. You can't beat that. You can't beat that with your right or your left hand. That's what she said. It's amazing. This was like all this time. I should take a video of that. All this time I had no idea that this camera was still very compatible with all of its newer counterparts. It's very impressive. Very, very impressive. So with that being said, I'm going to go on ahead, give you guys a little bit of B-roll, and then I'm going to show you guys everything that works with everything. Thing is, you got all day recording with this thing, and it has a magnetic base that is so dang good that it can stick to just about pretty any metal surface, and you can just leave it sitting somewhere to record. Now this isn't a metal surface right now, this is all wood. That's what she said. But let me find me a metal surface and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This is a really good camera. Yeah, you thought I was playing, didn't you? I know you did. You know what's holding that camera up? A metal surface. What kind of metal surface? This right here. It's crazy, man. It's amazing. Yeah. That'll stick to your car, your SUV, the hood, the roof, any metal surface. I don't know if you guys could see it, but the sun is kind of setting already. It's only touching the high trees. That's where we're at. So everything down here kind of sort of getting dark. So someone might be asking, well, how is it in low light? I didn't show you guys episode 1. I didn't show you low light in episode 1 because it was gonna be useless. Even though that camera does decent for what it is, when you compare it to the newer stuff out here, there's no chance. This camera also, compared to the newer stuff that's out there, no chance in low light. But how many of you guys are filming in low light conditions? Seriously. All of these cameras can do well inside of your home, for example. Like if you're in your house, you don't have the light from the sun, it's sort of like just the ambient lighting is sort of housey-ish, you guys will be fine. So this is one of those cameras, it would be good for that. If you're trying to, record in the pitch black, it's gonna suck. All right, these action cameras, they have small sensors, which means if you want to get really good low light performance with them, you can crank up the settings on these cameras. Your low light performance is still gonna suck. You'd have to turn your rock steady off, which is your stabilization. You have to turn it all the way off, which is now gonna make your video real shaky. So to combat that, you'd probably have to put your action camera on a gimbal. Yeah, I know, I said it. Action camera on a gimbal. That's your only option, man. All right, there's no other way, really. The camera needs to be stabilized so it's not jittery, and it still might be jittery. You might still have to ninja walk with the gimbal. So gotta pick your poison, man. You can't have it all. Back to Rodney we go. Ain't nothing up there, man. It's just stuck to the roof. only thing I don't like about this camera, and the only reason why it's not my ultimate camera, is because it doesn't have any compatible way. Not compatible. DJI doesn't have a GPS remote that'll work with this camera. So if you want to get telemetry data for your footage recorded with this camera, you're going to have to buy some sort of a GPS device and then sync it to the camera's video, maybe via software. It's the only thing I don't like about it. Listen to me. When you got stuff to get home, by all means, you get stuff home. All right? We ain't got time to be playing around here, my guys. We ain't got a 4x zoom. That's another thing that the newer cameras don't allow. Ain't nobody got time to be trying to, you know, get a U-Haul truck, or nobody got time for that. Look, we got stuff to get home, man. All right? Do what you got to do. Like I said, hey, the Mexican homie ain't playing. He ain't got time for the games. He ain't got no time. Yo, you never see that in Europe, man. Never. And if you did, it'll be an American. American doing it. Yo, I'd see things in the States, man. I'm like, yo, you never see that in Europe. You would never. It's just, I don't know. The people are different. They ain't got that, look, I'm getting shit done by all means necessary attitude. They just, here in America, hey, we got American things to do, man. That's one of them. Yo, let's get this other part of this video started. Let me show you guys all the accessories that works with this camera from the previous models. Alright, so here I'll bring you guys to my mobile office. Let's start with the Action 3. So you have the Action 3, the Action 4. They are literally the same camera, literally. So how am I going to show you that? Let's see what accessories from the Action 4 actually goes on the Action 3. For you guys wondering, like, well, hey, what if I can't find an Action 3 door? Oh, look at that. Will the Action 4 door snap? Look at that. I think we got ourselves a winner here, guys. Bolt-on application. All right. How about the Action 5's door? Will that go on the Action 3? Now, this will not change the waterproof rating of the Action 3. It is still going to be whatever it is from the factory. But look at that, the Action 5 door. Right to the Action 3, my guys. DJI has cheated us. They've been giving us the same camera for 3 generations, and all they've changed was a little bit of hardware on the inside. All right, so we have the battery for the Action 3. Obviously, this battery for the Action 3 is going to work. How about the battery from the Action 4? Now, you'll know it works because the camera will turn on. If it has an issue, it would say so on the display. Yep, no problem whatsoever. All right, well, let's see if the Action 5 batteries work with the Action 3. Very interesting stuff, guys. Very interesting stuff. We already know the 4 and the 5 stuff connects to each other, so that's not an issue. We already know those two cameras, everything works between the two. And this is with the Action 5 battery. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. None. Let's see what else we can get. Okay, so right here we have the DJI Action GPS remote. This remote will only work with the 4 and the 5. It will not work with the Action 3. There is a Bluetooth remote that you can buy that'll work the Action 3, but it will not have GPS telemetry data. You will be looking for this remote for telemetry data, and as I said, it only works with the 4 and the 5. So let's get that out the way. Now I have a series of attachments here, like Ulanzi. Ulanzi makes this magnetic door for the Action 3 camera. We'll see if it fits the Action 4 as well. And I would imagine if it if the factory doors fit, then why shouldn't this fit? Now this fits, right? It fits, but it is not really secure. I'm just pushing it open, and it's popping open. Let's try the Action 5. And what I like about this door, like I said, it's magnetic. So it allows you to, oh, wait a minute. No, it's not working with the 5 either. So the mechanism for the door is probably slightly different. But let me show you guys what I was using this for when I was using the Action 3. See, it snaps in place. You have something like this hot shoe mount right here. Magnetically clicks on the side of the camera. And I could use something like a shotgun microphone to screw right into here. And if you guys have never used, DJI has a microphone adapter that you can plug right into that USB-C port. Here it is right here. It says Osmo on it. All you do is just plug it in. Turn the camera on and you'll see a microphone meter on the screen, so you know that it's actually connected. So I'm going to turn it on right here. But no battery in there, easy peasy, guys. Right up here, you lift it, the door comes out the way. You don't have to remove the microphone. And I like this stuff, man. This stuff is, and then you just close it back. Get that nice little snap sound. Turn it on. Turn it on. And you should see a microphone meter on the top of the screen, if I'm not mistaken, once it fully connects. Okay, so the Action 3 is going to be that little microphone right there. You can see that meter. I'm going to tap the mic so you can see. It gives you an audio level. So will this setup, when it comes to the microphone and this Ulanzi piece right here, with the microphone adapter, will it work with the Action 4? Well, let's see. First, you'll need to prep the Action 4 to receive a magnetic side mount, because you see we don't have the battery. So we're going to take the Action 4 battery, put it in. I'm going to take the Action 4's door and I'm going to attach it real quick. Okay, got that snapped in. Now we're going to take the cage. The Action 3 and the Action 4 came with these cages that you can put the cameras in. So I put the camera in. You always slide it in from the front. Boom, you snap it closed. We're done. This side right here is magnetic. So what you're going to do, you'll take that magnetic door, that Ulanzi magnetic door, and it just snaps on, guys. You remove the door here for the USB-C port. All you got to do is pull it out. Come on. It can be a little difficult sometimes, but you just pull it out. You take the DJI microphone adapter, you plug it in, it snaps in like perfectly, just perfectly perfect. Hit the power button, watch the camera turn on, and we're looking for that microphone recognition on the screen. Come on, give us something. I know you're gonna find it. It's taking a little while to find it, actually. There it is. And that's your microphone on the top of the screen. Oh shoot! Yeah, on the top of the screen is green. When it's going to the yellow, that means you're getting close to spiking. And then that red, that's going to be a bunch of bap, 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 bap in the audio. So you can go on and adjust the gain setting. You're going to press these little lines on the right side. You're going to hit those. Then you're going to hit that little microphone. And then the gain. And you want to lower that. You want to lower it enough so that all that green, so you don't go into the red, basically, you see? And now I'm tapping the microphone and it's not going into the red, it's in the yellow. That's going to give you perfect audio. You're going to always have to adjust that depending on the microphone. This is an Amazon Basics microphone. They do not make this microphone anymore. See it, guys? This is an extremely sensitive microphone. I actually like it for quiet environments like the one I'm in right now, because it gives you really, really good audio without, you can turn your gain down significantly, and it's gonna give you good audio. So we're gonna turn this camera off, and we're gonna try this out with the Action 5. Now, disclaimer, this whole cage with this little cold shoe mount on the side will work with the Action 5 if you want to outfit your Action 5 like that. Me, this was the last time I've used this setup. I've graduated from this setup and went on ahead and purchased DJI's very own cold shoe mount side door, Insta360. You guys need to get this. All you're gonna do is, this is a door. This is a new design. Snaps on the side. Now this will reduce your waterproof rating from like, I like 10 meters from 20 meters or something like that. But boom, now you got a cold shoe mount on the camera. So this is a minimalist style. Now I don't have to have a whole cage and another mount on the side of the cage to get this effect. I just have the body of the camera with the cold shoe mount. Will this work with the Action 4? Because I literally just thought about that. Let's see. I think this does work for the Action 4. The question is going to be, will it work with the Action 3? Yeah, it works with the Action 4, no problem. So this is a two-piece setup. When you purchase this cold shoe mount kit, it's going to come with these two. All right. This one right here is the magnetic one. All right. So instead of using the Ulanzi, for example, on the side of the cage, you got this bad boy right here. Just snaps on the side. It's the same thing as the Ulanzi, but it's DJI's version. Okay. And all you gotta do is just pinch the sides to release it the same way you would the actual original magnetic mount. See if it works with the Action 3, because if it does, this is a really good accessory to have. Oh yeah, it does. Works with the Action 3, no problem. It actually snapped in properly and everything. So this is my personal favorite kit. These guys right here, this one and his homie with the magnetic side. For you guys who actually do want to use the cage, at least you have a magnetic version of it, and this is dope. I'm still waiting for Insta360 to make the same thing. You can charge any of these batteries inside any of the DJI's cases. The fast charging cases, that is the fast charging case that I got for the Action 4. That is the one that came with the Action 5. The Action 3 batteries can charge in the Action 4 and Action 5. It doesn't matter. It fast charges. It's all legit. Now here's one of my personal favorite overall vlogging shotgun microphones. This is the Comica VM10 Pro. You guys see that there? So this is like a powered / non-powered microphone. When you plug this microphone has a USB and a USB-C end, right? You use this like this. If you're plugging this microphone into like your laptop or your computer and you want to use this microphone as an audio source for as a microphone source. But for here, USB-C, does it work with the DJI's cameras in the USB-C port directly? Now, when you're using the USB-C cable with this microphone in particular, you want to always make sure the microphone is on the on the digital side. And this orange knob right here, that is a gain knob that you can use to adjust the sensitivity of the microphone, so how loud you want it to be. So right now it is on digital. The blue light lets you know that it has power from the microphone. And as you guys can see, the little microphone icon on the top right next to the battery lever is moving to me tapping the microphone. So yes, it works with the Action 3. Now let's see if it works with the Action 4. And as you can see, as long as it's on digital, let me show you guys. You use the digital settings on this microphone. You put it, I'm so sorry guys. Digital is when you use a USB-C. Analog is when you use the 3.5 millimeter for your audio. So if you don't want to use a USB-C to get audio, you use the 3.5 millimeter. Then you have to switch it to analog. When you switch to analog, this microphone no longer works as a powered microphone. This light is only on because I still have the USB-C port. If you plug a 3.5 millimeter in here and then the other 3.5 millimeter end, and let's say the 3.5 millimeter end of you bought the DJI microphone like this one here, you will only see the volume knob up here, but it'll be coming from the 3.5. And this thing will be off, okay? But you'll still be able to use it, obviously, as a regular 3.5 millimeter microphone. This is one of my favorite mounts for all of these cameras. This is the magnetic mount on the bottom, okay? I like to use this one because it's larger. So when you're like moto vlogging, for example, you have gloves. If you have bigger gloves, you have this extra space that you can feel It has a really good feel to it, okay? Not to mention on the bottom, you got the 1/4 inch thread and you got the teeth. So what's so special about that? Well, basically it'll allow you to screw this thing on to, like, you know, a tripod. You get a tripod like this with a 1/4 inch thread, you can just screw it on. Now check this one out, guys. I like to use, this will work with any of the 3 cameras. I like to use the small rig, right? I'll snap the small rig on here. Now let's just pretend that that small rig is still, you know, let's just say this Ulanzi mount is the small rig, because it is the same thing. It's an Insta360. It's a DJI mount. All right. And then on the bottom of it, there's a hole, that 1/4 inch thread. This is what you screw this base plate into. This base plate is from Insta360's quick release mount. Okay. That allows you to snap to the Insta360's mounts. When you are moto vlogging, guys, for example, and I keep talking about moto vlogging, but this goes for regular vlogging as well. If you are just vlogging, you're out here with the camera, you're vlogging, and you want to release the camera, this, you just get a better. All right, so what I like about this Ulanzi OA12 mount is that when you use the Insta360's quick release mount base plate that you guys see here in this picture, it locks out those red tabs on the Ulanzi mount, keeping the actual Action 5 or Action 4 or Action 3 cameras intact and unremovable. Also, what I like about the Insta360 quick release mount is that you see on the very bottom where the actual Insta360 mount is, you got the lock and the unlock tabs. So that keeps the little, the teeth that locks the plate to the actual Insta360 quick release mount. It keeps them from moving, allowing your camera to stay secure. You don't have to worry about it. I like Insta360's mounts, their quick release mounts, better because these buttons are more intentional. If you guys can see, they poke out. If you have big old gloves on, all you gotta do is just get your hands and just that's it. There you go. You know, and it snaps on so easy, and this feel is a lot more intentional with these buttons. The final part of this test is going to be the DJI Mic 2 system. All right, will the DJI Mic 2 work with these cameras? We know that the transmitter by itself works with the Action 4 and the Action 5. It will not wirelessly connect to the Action 3. Sorry, guys. But will this system work with the receiver? With the Action 3, for example. We'll start with the Action 3. I left the cage on the Action 4 because I want to show you guys, do you have to take the cage on or off if you're going to use this microphone with the camera? We'll know because we'll see the microphone is responding. You see I'm tapping the mic. Look at the meter. It's going off my taps. So you can use this microphone and receiver with this camera. Just make sure whatever mount you use will be tall enough with the mount to clear this so that this isn't sitting on itself like that. You don't want that thing to be sitting on the USB-C port like that. So now that we know what it works with the Action 3, let's see if you can directly connect it to the Action 4 with the cage on. And that will be the same for the Action 3 with the cage on. We have the Action 4 with the cage. I don't think it's going to clear. No, it doesn't clear. It doesn't go all the way. The cage is in the way. So what do you do in this scenario if you want to have really good audio connection or audio quality by using the receiver? Well, there's this one little adapter, this female to male end USB-C cable. You guys check it out. You would take the USB-C part of this receiver, plug it in here. This is just going to give you more length. Okay, that's what she said. You snap it in, turn the Action 4. You see how fast that thing turns on? People say this thing don't turn on fast. Okay, and look, we got audio. I'm going to tap the microphone in the background. You guys see it's responding. So that is your solution for that. Okay, if you want to do a direct connection, that's how you get it. Now we're going to try the Action 5 without a cage. It should work, but just to see if it actually works with the Action 5. Okay, I'm going to plug it in. Oh, it's close, guys. Only because I have the lens cover on. It's close, but we'll see. Let's see if it still works. We got the microphone still here, still on. I might have to turn this thing around. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. Because it doesn't matter which way it's facing. Okay, and there we go. We got action. So with that being said, although this camera has been replaced by 2 generations of cameras that's actually improved on this camera, this one is really a good option. You guys see that they're all compatible with each other. So if you guys have an Action 5 and you see some accessories that came out with Action 5, like that side door, guys, that's one of my favorite options for this camera, is having that side door that I can put a cold shoe mount on. So if I'm recording in low light, I can put a small little mount or light on that cold shoe mount, and you guys can still see what's going on when it comes to vlogging. Obviously, if you guys are recording somewhere and it's like you're just going to rely on the ambient light to give you, you know, some visibility, so to speak. But very good camera. It's very small. Just the smallest action camera. Okay, where do I rank this with my action cameras? Well, it's not as good as the Action 4 overall, but it's just as good. When it comes to the Action 5, Action 5 is basically an Action 3 on steroids. Do I recommend buying this camera? Absolutely. If it's a money thing and you don't have the money for an Action 4 or an Action 5, I tell you to get the Action 3. I would get an Action 5 if you have the funds for it over all of them. Probably the Action 4 second, and then the Action 3. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, first of all, hit the like button, okay? It's free, it don't cost you anything. If I told you anything in this video that was like, that made you say, damn, I didn't know that, or that's pretty cool, like button, man. Get the like, subscribe if you want to see videos on any kind of a camera that you've ever seen on this channel. If you don't know what I've been making videos on, just go look at the playlist. And yeah, I may end up using this camera again, but I'm still probably going to trade it up for those GoPros that I've been wanting to get. But without further ado, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, any questions, type it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys use. If you guys are still thinking about buying an action camera, you have a question on that, ask me. Always remember, what do you want from the camera? What do you want to use the camera for? And be realistic about it, okay? Because all these different cameras are different for a reason, okay? There's no action camera that just does all be all right? So see you in the next one. Peace.